William Wordsworth, an introduction. William Wordsworth was born on the 7th of April 1770 and is rightly regarded as a major English poet who, with Samuel Taylor Coleridge, helped to launch the Romantic Age in English literature. His words have been proffered by many a tongue around the world. They stir, they inspire, they create lyrical pictures and feelings as few others can. Wordsworth was also Britain's Poet Laureate from his appointment by Queen Victoria in 1843 until his death on the 23rd of April 1850. This volume brings together some of his finest verse, and among our readers are Richard Midgley and Gisela Rowe.
It was an April morning, fresh and clear, by William Wordsworth. It was an April morning. Fresh and clear, the rivulet, delighting in its strength, ran with a young man's speed, and yet the voice of waters which the winter had supplied was softened down into a vernal tone. The spirit of enjoyment and desire, and hopes and wishes from all living things went circling like a multitude of sounds. The budding groves seemed eager to urge on the steps of June, as if their various hues were only hindrances that stood between them and their object. But meanwhile prevailed such an entire contentment in the air, that every naked ash and tardy tree, yet leafless, showed as if the countenance with which it looked on this delightful day were native to the summer. Up the brook I roamed in the confusion of my heart, alive to all things and forgetting all. At length I to a sudden turning came in this continuous glen, where down a rock the stream, so ardent in its course before, sent forth such sallies of glad sound, that all which I till then had heard appeared the voice of common pleasure. Beast and bird, the lamb, the shepherd's dog, the linnet and the thrush vied with this waterfall and made a song, which, while I listened, seemed like the wild growth or like some natural produce of the air that could not cease to be. Green leaves were here, but 'twas the foliage of the rocks, the birch, the yew, the holly, and the bright green thorn, with hanging islands of resplendent firs, and on a summit, distant a short space, by any who should look beyond the dell, a single mountain cottage might be seen. I gazed and gazed, and to myself I said, "Our thoughts at least are ours, and this wild nook, my Emma, I will dedicate to thee." Soon did the spot become my other home, my dwelling, and my out-of-doors abode. And of the shepherds who have seen me there, to whom I sometimes in our idle talk have told this fancy, 2 or 3 perhaps, years after we are gone and in our graves, when they have cause to speak of this wild place, may call it by the name of Emma's Dell.
Daffodils by William Wordsworth. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils. Beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way, they stretched in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet could not but be gay in such a jocund company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. For oft when on my couch I lie, in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude, and then my heart with pleasure fills, and dances with the daffodils.
I travelled among unknown men, by William Wordsworth. I travelled among unknown men, in lands beyond the sea. Nor England did I know till then, what love I bore to thee. 'Tis past, that melancholy dream, nor will I quit thy shore a second time, for still I seem to love thee more and more. Among thy mountains did I feel the joy of my desire, and she I cherished turned her wheel beside an English fire. The morning showed thy nights concealed, the bowers where Lucy played, and thine is too the last green field which Lucy's eyes surveyed.
Anticipation, October 1803, by William Wordsworth. Shout, for a mighty victory is won. On British ground the invaders are laid low. The breath of heaven has drifted them like snow and left them lying in the silent sun, never to rise again. The work is done. Come forth, ye old men, now in peaceful show, and greet your sons. Drums beat and trumpets blow. Make merry, wives. Ye little children, stun your grandame's ears with pleasure of your noise. Clap, infants, clap your hands. Divine must be that triumph when the very worst, the pain, and even the prospect of our brethren slain has something in it which the heart enjoys. In glory will they sleep, an endless sanctity.